Hey, we've got an Ohio State debater who is joining us for the second time. Is this the bio you actually want me to read? No, I'm going to read this. Our debater, Dan Loper, this is his second year with the Great Debate, right? Yeah. He is best known for his work with actual wolves. Anyone in the room heard of actual wolves? And I don't mean like at the zoo. You have? Okay. Are you in it too, Lisa? Okay. You said no, like no way. I like that. And he's also a multi-time finalist in the Columbus Funny Bone competition. He did an outstanding job last year as a first-time debater. And do you have all of actual wolves with you here in support? We should have rehearsed this, Dan, is what we should have done. Didn't quite go as I'd hoped. I apologize. That's on me. That's my bad. How about it? Dan Loper, everybody!
Oh, man. Thank you guys so much for having me. This is my second year, like Dan said. I love football so much that I'm almost done with my screenplay about screenplays. I'm almost there. Oh, wait.
Hold on, Dan. Did you repeat that joke from last year?
Well, it's an opening joke, Dan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then you get into the new stuff. Textbook. Well, guys, last year around this time, the unthinkable happened. Our beloved Buckeyes fell defeat to that team up north. And as I stand here, that is a very difficult thing to say. Not as hard as it is for Joel Klatt to say JT to Amolawile, but difficult nonetheless. But this Buckeye team has some great names on it, right? We got Steel Chambers, it sounds like a medieval prison. Jack Sawyer sounds like a Rush song. Tommy Eichenberg sounds like he invented social media. The most unique name that team up north has is Blake Corum, and that just sounds like a dude who's really good at cake stands. That's what that sounds like. Nailing it. And Blake Corum is a very talented running back, but he's not a very big guy. According to Google, he's only 5'8". And I know you don't have to be tall to be a running back, but that is remarkably short, right? The only thing shorter than Blake Corum is Urban Stint in Jacksonville. That's the only thing. Am I wrong?
What team are you on?
I'm playing all sides, Dan. I'm playing all sides. But let's look at some other names on this Michigan squad, right? We have J.J. McCarthy, Ronnie Bell, Luke Schoonmaker, Junior Colson, Rod Moore, Chris Jenkins. Maybe it's just me, but those don't sound like ferocious competitors. They sound like a list of dudes who would be lucky to make the Arena League, okay? Running scout team for the Spokane Shock. And even though it would be very fun to see Michigan in complete disarray, contemplating why they even have a program in the first place, I must admit that it is pretty cool to see two potential undefeated teams on a collision course for a Big Ten championship and perhaps playoff berth. This game is oddly reminiscent of the 2006 matchup where, going into it, Ohio State was 1, Michigan was 2. And to give you an idea, how different the world was in 2006, Netflix was still a year away from launching a streaming service. Nobody knew what Twitter was. And this guy right here was a baby-faced freshman at the University of Dayton. Go Flyers. In the time it took Ohio State to beat that team up north twice and Michigan to lose to, at the time, 1AA Appalachian State. Yeah. I had transferred to Ohio State where I was able to rack up 2 intramural flag football playoff appearances, 5 plunges into Mirror Lake, and a cumulative GPA of 2.75. And 1 really bad case of, I'm not going to go there. But the point is, what does this mean, guys? What does this all mean? Why am I saying this? Guys, with all that experience, the one thing I didn't mention is that I still have 4 years of varsity football eligibility. Okay? As I stand before you now, I am 6'4", 270 pounds. I'm basically a third Bosa brother. All right? Every family has a Cooper Manning. We get it. But I think one thing that we can do as Buckeye fans, one thing we can hang our hat on is that Jim Harbaugh is not going anywhere. That nutcase is here to stay. I mean, Jim Harbaugh idolizes SpongeBob SquarePants, refers to chicken as a nervous bird, and has a history of sleeping over at recruits' houses. I don't have a joke for any of this. I'm just reading his mental health profile. Take that, HIPAA. But if you really think about it, Harbaugh's weird behavior over the years is completely predictable. Jim was an NFL quarterback in the 90s. The only targeting that existed back then was when people referred to going to Target, okay? Nobody knew. So there's no question he took a few unflagged shots at the dome, right? I mean, right now, the only thing worse than Jim Harbaugh's short-term memory is Brian Kelly's Southern accent. Before I leave, though, I just want to say that we really are in store for one epic game. And I can assure you that 1 week from tomorrow, Woody will be looking down and Bo will be looking up. At one of the most memorable college football games of all time. Go Bucks, beat Michigan. Thank you so much.